The balance of the birds. A lesson hidden beneath the wings. The sun rose gently over the quiet fields, casting its golden light upon the morning mist that lingered near the riverbank. There lived a farmer there, simple, diligent, and sincere in his efforts to care for his land. His fields stretched wide and green, hugging the gentle curve of a river that flowed with a song only silence could hear. Across the river stood a line of tall trees, old and strong, and in their branches lived countless birds that sang with joy every morning. Each year, as the farmer planted his grains with hope, the birds would arrive, not to sing, but to eat. They came in flocks, fluttering like thoughts in a restless mind, pecking at the seeds he had so carefully sown. It broke his heart to see his labor scattered and stolen, and frustration slowly clouded the peace in his soul. One morning, the farmer stood in his field, watching the birds feast. His fists clenched, and a thought hardened within him. If I remove the birds, I will save my harvest. So the next day, he laid a wide net across the land and scattered grains as bait. When the birds came, they were trapped, not understanding why the field that once fed them had betrayed their trust. With a heavy sack of birds on his back, the farmer crossed the river and walked deep into the forest. There, beneath the quiet canopy of trees, he released them. As they flew into the unknown, he felt a strange satisfaction. Now, he thought, my field will be safe. But nature, like truth, is not so easily manipulated. When harvest season returned, the farmer found his crops not thriving but dying. Leaves were torn, stems eaten away. Worms and insects had devoured what he had tried to protect. The damage was far worse than anything the birds had ever caused. His hands trembled as he stood amidst the ruin, not with anger but with confusion. He had done what he thought was right. Why then had things become worse? Unable to find peace in his own thoughts, the farmer went to visit an old man in the village, a wise farmer whose years had taught him more than any season alone could reveal. The old man listened, his eyes soft and knowing. He smiled gently and said, "You thought the birds were your enemy, but they were also your guardians. They came not only for the grains, but for the insects. By chasing them away, you disturbed the balance that nature had carefully woven." The words sank deep. The farmer saw then that in his effort to control, he had forgotten to understand. Nature was not his to conquer, but to walk alongside. He could not decide which life to keep and which to cast out without unraveling the harmony of it all. Though he could not bring the same birds back, he did not give up. From that day, he began building small nests around the edge of his fields. He left out grains, not as bait, but as welcome. Slowly, birds returned. Not the same ones, perhaps, but new voices, new wings, and with them, balance returned too. The fields healed in their presence. As the farmer watched the sky fill with flight and song once again, his heart grew still. He realized that the struggles he once blamed were not punishments, but teachers. He had acted from impulse, from fear, but now he could see more clearly. Every creature had its place, every hardship its reason. In that quiet awareness, something in him changed. When we look at life through the narrow eyes of frustration, we see only problems. But when we open our hearts and pause, we begin to sense the larger harmony that holds us. Just as the farmer's field suffered when he removed what he thought was harmful, so too do our lives suffer when we reject discomfort without understanding it. Difficulties are not always meant to be removed. They are often placed gently on our path to guide us, to soften us, to help us grow. Behind each struggle hides a deeper order, a lesson whispered by the quiet hands of nature. If we can meet our suffering with patience, our mistakes with humility, we may one day glimpse the greater balance in which even pain has its purpose. And in that seeing, we return to the song of the birds, gentle, essential, and filled with life.